Hello, everyone. My name is Madison Byer, and I am a statistician from the Northwest Regional Field Office. Welcome to the Agricultural Coverage Evaluation Survey training presentation. I will be referring to this survey by its acronym ACES throughout this presentation for simplicity purposes. The objectives of this training presentation are to provide you with an overview of what ACES is and explain how the data from ACES and the June area survey will be used for the upcoming Census of Agriculture. I will also describe the differences between ACES and the June area survey, as well as review the ACES timeline. The main purpose of ACES is to measure the incompleteness of the Census of Agriculture by identifying operations that may not already be on the Census of Agriculture mail list. ACES is more likely to find smaller crop and livestock farms that are hard to find and not typical of regular NAS surveys, which are important to the farm demographics of the Census of Agriculture. ACES helps measure the undercount of farms not on the census mail list, as well as the undercount of farms incorrectly classified as non-farms. ACES also helps measure the overcount of farm duplicates on the census and the overcount of non-farms incorrectly classified as farms. As you may know, the Census of Agriculture is an important accounting of all farms and agriculture in each state across the U.S. This is why the ACES data will be combined with June area data to measure the completeness of the Census of Agriculture mail list. Both ag and non-ag tract operators identified in ACES and June area that are not on the census mail list will be sent a census form. Now let's look at the differences between ACES and June area. One of the main differences between the two surveys is the frequency of the surveys. ACES is conducted every 5 years in preparation for the Census of Agriculture, while June area is conducted annually. Please note that normally during ACES years, segments are all new. However, this year, all 2017 ACES segments are being reused, and some new segments were added as well. On June area, we continue with the annual 20 to 25% rotation of new segments. Another major difference between the two surveys is how the data is summarized. The indications generated from the June area survey directly support estimates that are published in NASH reports, such as the June Acreage Report and June Grain Stocks Report, while no specific estimates are published from ACES. And lastly, Hawaii and Puerto Rico are included on ACES, while they are excluded from June area. This is a visual example of how the segment outlines look on the actual photo maps for ACES and June area. The ACES outline is in blue, while the June area outline is in red. Note that tract boundaries and letters need to be drawn in blue on both surveys, and field level data is not needed on either. We will now look at the screening forms for both surveys. The screening forms for ACES and June area appear very much the same, but will be distinguished by different colored paper. The ACES screening form will be on white paper, while the June area screening form will be on pink paper. Complete names and addresses are always important to obtain during the pre-screening phase of these surveys. This year, it is even more imperative that you obtain the best possible tract operator and partner information, as all ag and non-ag tracts will be included in the mail list for the upcoming Census of Agriculture. The tract questionnaires for ACES and June area are also distinguished by different colors. ACES has a condensed questionnaire and will be on buff-colored paper, while the June area survey will continue to have the standard questionnaire on white paper. As we mentioned earlier, there's no need to collect field-level data in Section D for either survey unless your regional survey lead tells you otherwise. Now we will review some additional differences to take into consideration on the tract questionnaires this year. The June area survey asks for detailed information about how land is used in the tract with crop and land questions, which vary by state. Section D for ACES only asks how many acres are in the tract, if there is a farmstead or dwelling inside the tract, and if so, how many acres make up the farmstead or dwelling. Section E for ACES is also shorter than Section E for June area, focusing on the total acres operated. After Section E, the ACES questionnaire skips to Section N. Questions about grain storage, livestock, labor, and land values found in sections F through M on the June area questionnaire are not included on the ACES questionnaire. In Section N, farm-level data is asked for all tracts regardless of the value of sales reported. Section N is set up this way every 5 years in preparation for the Census of Agriculture. In the Agricultural Surveys Interviewer's Manual, Appendix A contains more information on ACES. This section of the Interviewer's Manual is added every 5 years specifically for ACES and provides more background and purpose information on ACES. The appendix also documents standard procedures for completing the ACES tract questionnaire. All enumerators should review this appendix thoroughly, along with other training materials provided by your region prior to enumerating ACES to help strengthen your understanding of the procedures for completing tract questionnaires and the differences in the procedures between ACES and June area. Now let's take a peek at the ACES timeline with key dates to be aware of. These are the official survey dates. Note that there are 3 ACES pre-screening phases listed as waves on the timeline. The first wave is lined up to follow the June area pre-screening phase and has the same time frame, which runs from March 21st to April 20th. Data collection for Wave 1 of ACES runs from May 21st to July 14th. The second ACES pre-screening wave includes new segments specifically for Texas, Missouri, Ohio, and Puerto Rico. Pre-screening and data collection for the second ACES wave will run from May 21st to July 14th. The third ACES wave consists of all remaining new segments for the rest of the states. The timeline for the third wave is June 20th to July 14th. All data will be submitted via CAPI, taking into consideration your region's survey dates. In addition, you will be using project code 655 for both ACES pre-screening and data collection activities. The important takeaway notes from this training are the more accurate the tract operator information you obtain up front, the less work that must be done later to ensure that operations match between the census mail list and the NAS list frame list. This is crucial in identifying the census mail list under coverage. Overall, You will encounter smaller crop and livestock farms on ACES, but large ones may also show up. Keep in mind that these smaller crop and livestock farms do not typically participate in many government programs or activities for us to pick them up and include them on the list frame or census mail list. Additionally, it is important to remember the survey material and timeline differences to help reduce confusion and help you meet all survey due dates. Pay close attention to the color and version of the survey forms. Note that both surveys are submitted in CAPI. And finally, the ACES timeline extends through mid-July, which will help you focus on the June area survey more in late May through mid-June. This concludes the ACES training. Please review this presentation as needed. If you have any further questions about ACES or June area, please reach out to your supervisor, NASDA coordinator, or the ACES and June area survey leads in your region. Thank you so much. See you next time.